Well, well, well. Look who it is. It's none other than me. Yeah, it's me. Hello everyone. My name is Sushi and T, and welcome back to another video today. We are on the 1.8.9 survival world. As you can see, there have been some shenanigans going on. That happened like 7-8 months ago. I have not been on the server in a very long time. However, I am back now. And there are some new things to look around at. First of all, look at this cool shack right here. It's got a nice roof. It's got a nice design. This right here is the tavern. We got a little cheeky man in here. Look at him, buddy. I don't know what his name is. That will be a decision I'll make when I get a name tag, because I don't think I have any name tags yet. Let me go check real quick. Go down to the creepy basement. Let's see. Nope. No name tags. We got a lot of stuff. Like, we got the saddles and we got the horse armor, but we don't have any name tags, sadly. Unless I'm missing something. No, okay, it looks like we're all out of the name tags. That's okay though, because we can figure out his name later. But this is the little tavern I got going on. You know, we got a little jukebox here, you know, to play our little music. You can sit down and have a cold brew of whatever the tavern keep got's going, which that's me, so I don't really got anything going on. But other than that, yeah. So what's been going on in the world of Minecraft, and vice versa in the world of me? Well, as the title of the video says, if you're broke, nothing's broken. This is something I kind of came up with recently, because a lot of the things that I've been owning along for such a long time, I begin to break down. Like the office chair that I'm sitting in right now, I've had this thing for like 3-4 years now, and recently I leaned back to just watch a little movie. You know, I was just leaning back. I'm like, I'm gonna watch a movie on my computer, and next thing you know, I hear a loud snap, and I fall backwards, and I'm like, what the hell just happened? Did I just explode my chair? Like, I'm not that fat. Like, come on, like, what's going on here? I look under my chair, I turn around, next thing I know, the little connection piece connects the back of the chair that allows it to like stay up, just completely snapped off. So it was like a limp, wet piece of bread. Like, it just didn't go up anymore. It stayed back, and it would no longer support my back. So I'm like, well, crap, I definitely cannot afford a new office chair. As much as I would love to just go spend $30-40 on a crappy little dingleberry of a chair, that was not gonna happen, because, you know, if I'm gonna buy a chair, I'm gonna put a little bit of money into it. You know, like, it's a chair I'm gonna have for a while. Like, I need something that's not dinky and it's gonna like break just like this one. The problem is I don't have like $200 to spend on an office chair. Like, I don't got that kind of money. I'm barely able to like save for food, and it's not that I'm broke. It's just that when you're in college and you know you don't really have like a continuous job, you want to save money, because you don't want to keep spending on things you don't really need. Anyways, so broke. Next thing you know, I'm like, well, crap, what am I gonna do? This chair is broken, and I can't throw it out because I need someplace to sit. So I'm just like, you know what? There's got to be something in my room I can do, something I can do to fix this chair. Like, there's no way that I can just leave it. So I'm like, okay. Well, I have these master locks. One I used for like my chem labs, things like that, because you always need a lock for the labs, so you can lock all your supplies in. And you know, that's your responsibility. If you don't lock it in, you know, and something gets stolen, then it's your fault. You have to pay like a tax. Oh my gosh, my scroll wheel is so broken. But I'm like, you know what? The only thing I need is for this thing to support my back. Yeah, it was nice to have a chair that would be able to like lean back. That's always nice. But at the end of the day, I just need something that won't let my back down. So I'm like, okay, what do we got? What do we got here? And I'm like, all I need to do is prevent the back of the chair from rotating. That's all I gotta do, is make it so the back of that chair can no longer rotate and just stays in place. So what I did is I got the first master lock and I shoved it in there, right? And I locked it on, like, there's a little lip on the chair that I locked it around. And it worked, but every time I turned the chair back over, the master lock would just swing out and hang down, so the chair would go limp again. So then I got the second master lock, and I used that master lock to secure the other master lock to the chair so it wouldn't fall down. And I got in the chair, and it worked. It's actually more stable than it was before it broke, which is kind of surprising. But it worked exactly how I intended it to work, and now my back is supported. So, that just kind of made me think, like, okay. What are the other things I've done the same thing for? Because when something breaks, I just can't have the heart to remove it, and I just don't have the money to afford something new, especially if it's something big that breaks. And this has been happening for a while. It first kind of started with my backpack. I've had this backpack since high school, like my freshman year of high school, maybe even middle school, and I've just kept using it, and I've kept wearing and tearing it, and eventually got to the point where one of the zippers doesn't zip up anymore. There's two zippers on the backpack, one on the left, one on the right. You zip them up, and usually they meet in the middle. So there's two zippers, and one of them doesn't zip up anymore. It just refuses to zip up. But the other one still works. The problem with the other one is the little tab that you used to pull the zipper up broke off. So I'm like, well, crap, I can't zip up my backpack. For a while, I just kind of left it open. And then eventually I'm like, this sucks, I look goofy as hell walking around with a backpack that has, like, everything's hanging out of it. So I'm like, I got to fix this. So I got this random, I don't even know where I found it. It was this random little clip piece that was just kind of like one of those little things where you can press it down and it opens up and you can clip it on the thing. It's just a little clip. And I don't know where I found it. I think I found it on the ground somewhere. And just walking around campus, because anytime I see like a goofy little thing on the ground, I usually pick it up because I'm like, yeah, I could use this, which sounds dumb, but I did use it. I did find a use for it. And now it's just on my backpack, and I just use it for, zipping it up. I just ignore the other zipper and use the one that works. And the second thing that happened is this backpack, it started getting a hole in it, right? This is old, and one of the top parts, started ripping. It started getting a hole in it. I'm like, well, crap, If I just leave it alone, it's going to keep getting bigger and bigger. And next thing I know, I'm just going to have a useless backpack. It's not going to work anymore. So I'm like, what can I do to fix this? How do you fix a hole in something like that? Well, there's one way. you could sew it back together. And I just happen to have a sewing kit in my house because some people in my house used to sew, so I have just like this little sewing kit in my house. The problem is I don't know how to sew, and I don't know anything. The first thing about sewing, all I know is that this backpack is gonna start becoming useless to me unless I can find a way to fix it. So having never sewn before, never known how to sew, I've looked up a few tutorials. I whipped out that sewing kit and I started practicing on like other things I wear in my backpack, just like sewing like two paper towels together, or like finding a hole in something and just kind of practicing the technique. Eventually I got to the point where I'm like, okay, I think I have a way to sew this up without it, being stupid, and not just not being completely waste of material and time. So I did it. I got my backpack down, I sat down and followed everything I knew at the time. It wasn't a good sew. I'm not gonna lie. It was oh my gosh, scroll wheel, please. It wasn't the best sew job in the world, but it did do the job, and it still works to this day. The hole is patched. It hasn't come open. It's been pretty secure. I've been looking at it and checking it. Just, oh, that's the wrong button. making sure that it's not gonna detach and just like rip my backpack in half. So that was that. My backpack was basically brand new, other than the crappy little the hole I sewed and the janky second zipper I've been using. But other than that, backpack has been well, and it does not end there. Because there are things that I don't I don't like giving things up. I mean, if I have a hole in my pocket now, I mean, I tried to sew one of my socks back together because some of my socks just have like holes in them, because I work out a lot, I move around a lot, and I'm active, so my socks get holes like really fast. And another thing is like I've had some of these socks for like longer than I'd like to admit that I've had them. So yeah, take that as you will, but I tried to sew like a hole in my sock, but the problem is like those holes are not like linear, they're more round. So you have to like patch it. You can't just sew it together. So I tried to sew it and it was so dumb. I ended up throwing that sock away. I'm like, you know what? I can sacrifice one sock to the trash room gods because this is pathetic. Like I can't be doing this. I'm not wearing this sock. It's uncomfortable. It doesn't work. It wasn't happening. So yeah, I did have to eventually give up that sock. It was very sad. I held a funeral for him. I burned him on like a little ship. Like I sent him like out like a Viking. I burned him and like shot a little arrow at him. And he went into the sunset. It was very, very emotional, very sad. But anyways, so yeah, I guess I've just started to realize that I would much rather fix something myself than try to find something new, especially now. And I think some of the things are like, it depends on how annoying it is. Because another thing is like you can see my scroll wheel. Like let me go to the first tab, right? I'm gonna scroll one to the right, then one to the right again, one to the right, one to the right, one to the right, one to the right. You see it works, all right? But immediately when I try to scroll left, ready? One to the left. I did one singular scroll to the left. Let me do it again. One scroll. Oh, now we're back here. Oh, yeah. So anytime I'm playing a competitive game or something like that and I scroll, or even if I'm trying to build like this, and it just scrolls like 5,000 times. It was so annoying. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe my scroll wheel is like really gunked up. Like maybe I need to go in there and clean it out. So I try to pop off the right mouse button. I'm like, I'll pop this off, pop the other thing off, get to the scroll wheel. Yeah, that did not work. You're actually supposed to unscrew the whole thing. So I actually just snapped the thing completely off. And for a while, it was just hanging out there. Like it didn't work. It was just kind of just hanging around. And it would keep coming off. So I'm like, okay, I gotta fix this because I don't want to get a new mouse. I really don't. So I'm like, what can I do? So I taped it. I just taped it to the end. So now I got this bootleg taped mouse. It does work. Like it works perfectly fine. But the scroll wheel is still very broken. So eventually, I do need to go find a way to fix that. And last but not least, the final part of this journey is something I'm not sure I can fix this time. Like everything else, I've found a way to fix it. I've either done some shenanigans to just get it to work properly, or done some other things. But this time, I'm not sure. It's gonna work out. And it's my old pair of shoes. I've had these pairs of shoes since, again, high school. So they're like 5, 6, 7 years old now, and they've worked perfectly fine. They're good shoes. They're light. They're tennis shoes. So I have other pairs of shoes. That's not my only pair of shoes, but this one is the one I use for like daily, everyday, just like walking around. And it's good because they're light. They're good for going to the gym. They're good for going on light hikes, not big hikes, just light hikes. I have another pair of hiking boots, which I use for going on larger hikes and going over harsher terrain. But my regular shoes I just use for walking around. They finally started getting some holes in like the bottom. Not like in the sole, like in the actual bottom part of the shoe. And I started to notice it when when I was walking around outside and it snowed and it was really wet outside, and my feet were getting wet from the bottom up. From the bottom up. Not like because the water like got in the shoe or snow got in the shoe and it was like soaking in it. No. It was getting wet from the bottom up. I could feel the liquids of the grounds just soaking up through my feet as my socks just became soaked from the bottom. And I'm like, what is going on? I look down and there's just the bottom of my shoes just wrecked. It's been used so much that eventually it just got to the point where it was like, I don't want to do this no more. You know, it was gone. I'm trying to figure. Then my first thought was, oh crap, I have a hole in my shoe. You know, let me try to glue it. Like I tried to super glue it shut, and that worked for a while. It did keep the water out. You know, I super glued it. And then after that, you know, it opened up again. I'm like, crap, like what am I gonna do? Like I can maybe duct tape it, but that's just gonna come off. So my second option was like, maybe, just maybe, I could maybe go into like one of the like mechanical engineering lounges or labs, and sometimes they have like soldering guns, and I can like melt a piece of rubber to the bottom of the shoe and like melt it to the part of the shoe. And yeah, so that's where I'm at right now. I'm contemplating doing that. Like, do I really want to do all that work for a singular shoe? Like the shoe's not that important to me. Like, do I really want to do that? Answer is no. Not really. I don't really want to have to do that. That sounds like extremely annoying and tedious, and I'm not even sure if I can use the mechanical engineering lounge. So we're gonna see. Maybe I'm just might throw them away, which is really sad because I hate throwing things away. I like to find a use for everything or use them until I absolutely cannot anymore. Like when the sock doesn't have a toe box anymore, that's when I'm like, okay, I'm either burning it or using it for something else. So yeah, I have brought a few socks on camping trips that are like absolutely destroyed, and then just use them to start the fire. You know, they have lint on them, they're fuzzy, they're easier to burn. But yeah, I guess I've just always been in a situation where I hate to waste things. And I hate being wasteful, and any opportunity I can to fix something, you know, I will find a way if there is one. Like shoving master locks in the seat pocket to fix it. But yeah, so that's kind of been what's going on in the life of a college student trying to survive the ever so treacherous ways of the world. And you know, your worst enemy as a college student will always be time. Even as just a human being, your worst enemy is always time. You know, over time things will break down. Over time you'll lose things, and they'll go away eventually, and you just have to eventually throw them away. And then there's nothing you can do. You gotta buy new stuff. So yeah. But that's about all I was gonna say. I don't want this video to be too long because you know, that'd be kind of annoying. But we made a little progress. There's some shenanigans going on. You know, I'm gonna build like this little village over here, and this is gonna be, like I said, the whole field of wheat and stuff, because we're running out of food every now and then, so we do need more. But other than that, I think that is it. So, it was good to talk to you guys again, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.